Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. Rolling, yeah.
There has been an awakening.
Oh, yes.
Have you felt it?
I ain't felt shit.
I ain't tasting nothing.
Hello, what have we here?
You guys are so funny.
Hello.
Holy shit. It ain't C3 penis face and R2 dickhead.
Hello there.
Looking? Found someone you have, I would say.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Good day, Galaxy.
Rogue Squadron Podcast.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Worst show of all time.
We are Mopar.
I am. I was Commander. You tripped me up.
Awesome. It's a beautiful Sunday
It was.
here. You know what's funny is we always start off with fucking weather.
Goddamn weather again. I want to hear about it.
It was supposed to rain all weekend. It was like 50% chance for like 24 hours. Nothing. We didn't get anything until this afternoon.
And then
So-
what happened?
It rained.
It rained like it was the jungle for 3 days straight. in
Oh, really?
Ohio.
It completely missed us. I think that's what was supposed to come this way, but it just never came to fruition. It downpoured for a good 30 seconds this evening, and that was it.
It was bad, like dangerous to drive. I've never seen rain that heavy before in my
Heavy
lifetime.
rain.
It was bad, man. It was crazy, and it was 3 days straight of it. So it's terrible.
It's just, we were trying to plan a weekend, which we ended up going, just risking it. We went up to New York City, but it almost prevented us from going because it said like the entire East Coast was 50% chance of rain pretty much the entire weekend.
Yeah.
So we almost didn't go because of that. Thank God we just went and there was no rain at all. It's so stupid. It pisses me off.
Makes you think why weathermen have jobs in the first place.
It literally is, I don't know if it's going to rain or not. Let's just throw 50% on there and we'll fuck around. Because if it does, I told you 50% chance. And if it doesn't, hey, good day.
Yeah, what's the percentages of the times that weathermen are actually right? And weather women?
Women.
And weather Twi'leks? Sorry.
And weather women, yeah.
And whether they know what the fuck they're talking about or not.
So awesome. We are live on Instagram.
Oh my goodness.
So if everybody who's live there, welcome. We're recording episode, what is this, 148? 149? I think it's 149.
I think it is 149, yeah.
So 149 episodes in of the Rogue Squadron Podcast.
Fucking mad ridiculousness.
Yeah, so we're super excited. It's just plunging through.
Plunging?
Plunging.
That one time that I said plunging, or maybe you said plunging, and it was confusing as fuck. We're talking about like toilets and shit.
Well, I'm talking about this show is like a big pile of shit. And we're clogging up the Star Wars universe toilet. So we got to plunge through the shit.
Just like Star Wars movies. Just a big ball of shit.
Like I said, we're live on Instagram. We've got a couple people. I don't even know who the fuck. But if you want to join us live, or if you're fans of the show and just listen, I would highly recommend just head on over to YouTube.
You'll see our furry faces.
And you can just
time.
join us live every Sunday.
It's time. Also,
Furry faces.
Mopar, you can't see this right now, but there is a new a little setup that I put on the live stream on YouTube and everything, where you can see both our cams at the same time. Because I would switch back and forth between whoever was talking, and sometimes I would forget, and it would be on my face, and I would just be like looking around while you were going on a fucking rant about Yoda being an elementary school teacher. So I set something up with both of our cameras right now. So it's a good time to go over to YouTube and see the new shiznit.
Do you think video games are addictive?
I've been seeing this come out. Somebody went to like a rehab for Fortnite addiction or something crazy.
It is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Retruso filled. I don't know.
That just slipped out. I just, I made up a word. So
ridiculous.
No, I've been seeing that happening more and more lately. And then I think like the World Health Organization or whatever it's called declared it as like an actual medical condition, like gaming addiction.
I just 100% think if you have an addictive personality, you can get addicted to anything.
Yeah, 100%.
Planting trees. I can't stop doing it. Live in the middle of a forest now. I don't know where else to plant.
Now that would be something to see. Yeah, I'm addicted to planting trees. Great.
So yeah, I searched Star Wars and just clicked on news, and one of the first things that popped up was like a big video game addiction article. I was like,
why'd that pop up when you looked up Star Wars?
I don't know. They just assume all Star Wars fans are addicted assholes.
The second part of that is true. We are all assholes. It's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Think we have Fucko and we have Mike Padilla, a.k.a. Deadpoolio, a.k.a. Avocado Farmer, up in here with us. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and joining us.
I guess you can get addicted to Coke. I got called out because I called it pop in New York City.
Oh, yeah. I wanted
soda. I wanted a clear pop because my stomach was not feeling the best. So I was just like, you have a clear pop, like a 7-Up or a Sprite or something? Yeah. And they're like, where are you from?
The Midwest.
Yeah. I was like, Tatooine, fucking Echo Base. What the fuck you talk? What do you want? Tatooine Echo Base.
That's so funny. Yeah, I haven't said pop in a long time, so that just threw me off.
It's like every weekend now we go, if we stay in town and we sit in like game, we go down to the local Sheets, and because that's the only thing that we have. That's our gas station is Sheets.
Yeah.
And we grab a pop. So we roll the dice with some Sprite or something.
I feel it. People can get addicted to this podcast.
That's impossible.
Linus just said he is. So you've been proven wrong for the 30th time.
Linus is not a viable source.
He'll
just say whatever the fuck he wants to say.
He's not been cross-referenced. Yeah.
He's not being cross-referenced.
We can't trust him.
I got a wiki Linus up. I got to see him. Wiki
Pull his birth certificate and his fucking dental records.
We should do a skit of talking Linus out of listening because it's a bad addiction, and you'll do bad forever.
You won't succeed in life and at school.
You'll do bad forever.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to have to meme that. Like, World Health Organization classifies listening to Rogue Squadron Podcast as like fucking class 1 disease. Do they have a class?
It lowers your intellect and skyrockets your stress level.
Do they have like severity levels of diseases? Like they have like class or like Schedule A drug or Schedule 1 drug or whatever it's called is like highly addictive, the worst one. We are a Schedule 1 disease.
Schedule 1 phenom.
That's how it happens. Schedule 1 disease. So when you looked up Star Wars news and you stumbled on addiction, did you find anything about Star Wars?
Can we do side effects for listening to the Rogue Squadron podcast?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Make a shirt of like the list of all the terrible things that will happen to you after you listen to us.
Exactly.
You might like Star Wars more, so that's terrible because Star Wars sucks. You don't want to watch that ever again. You might drink really delicious beer, and that's terrible. You might play video games and get addicted to them.
You might be pissed forever. It is a one-time thing. You listen once, and then from there on out, you will just hate everything J.J. Abrams touches. All right, we've had enough. Let's.
I was getting feisty with people on Instagram because I try to make the sarcasm so obvious, and some people just are
don't
thick.
Get it.
They're just like, "Why are you spreading hate? Our fandom is toxic already." Have you looked at our page? Have we ever been serious? Do you know what you're following?
Yeah. People take things so seriously.
Yeah.
Hashtag I hate Star Wars, and they're like, "Why would you say that?" Well, come on.
Definitely superly off.
Step up, McGlovin. All right, guys, we're going to get into our weekly beer review. I have an extra special one just because I chose it. Actually, I didn't.
I have a standard one.
Glass Armor chose it.
Ooh, Glass Armor cameo.
So we're doing some Deschutes. What is it even called? Passion Fruit IPA. So it is a little summery. Excited to divulge.
I haven't shown off the beer opener that you gave to me. By gave, I mean you left it and I hijacked it.
Commandeered. All right. So
what is this?
Deschutes is always solid. I expect nothing but greatness. What do you got?
It's from the Brew Kettle, which is actually, I had heard of it, but I didn't know that it was local. Yeah, it's from Strongsville up in Cleveland.
Is it craft? I have on Instagram. Yes, we always choose random craft beers to open the podcast episode up with.
Yes.
Like I said, today I got Deschutes Commander. What do you have?
The Brew Kettle, it's called the White Raja IPA, which makes me believe it's got white goodness in it.
White goodness. What is that?
I was hoping that the thing on the back would give me some something to lean on there and finish my sentence, but I failed. It doesn't say anything about that. I just thought it would be like, I don't know. I'm done. I'm done with it. I just want to drink it.
Wow, Han and Carbonite beer opener. Hey, we're nothing but the best. We don't scrounge around. We ain't fucking her up.
We don't scrunch the punch.
We scrunch the plunge.
All
All right. Are you not pouring yours out?
No, I'm a bad fan today. Sorry.
All right, good fans. I'm going to do a quick smell. I actually don't smell a lot of citrus. Passion fruit. How passionate can you get? Ooh, I smell it a little bit. All right, taste buzz. Woo!
I had to drink that slowly but surely because I was almost laughing.
I'm going to take another sip.
I'm going to look this up because there's something in it that I've had and I can identify by taste, but I don't know what the fuck it's called.
I have a feeling my taste buds are fucked. I had some other nonsense earlier, and it's not mixing well. It's like covering some of the flavors here.
Mm-hmm. That happened to me the first time I had this.
So this is part of the Just Tapped series out of Deschutes. I don't know what that is. Again, they're out of Bend, Oregon. I don't know why Deschutes is so big out here. It's across the goddamn country.
It's big out here too.
It's solid. It's great. It is, what am I looking at? 46 IBU, 6.8% alcohol. I'm not going to get into it too deep here.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm thinking. It's that amber caramel flavored malt that we always say that when it's in there too pronounced, it can just be a little overboard. It's in here. It's not too much because the hops really, like they made it. It's an IPA and it screams IPA. They made it very bitter, so it kind of takes over. So it's not too bad, man. Not too bad. Ooh, I had this. Was it Thursday or was it Wednesday?
You tell me.
Dude from Starbecue podcast, which you guys should check out. They're pretty much exactly like our dumbasses, but they also cook food. He barbecues up food and shit before they record, and he posts recipes and tries to Star Wars theme food and everything. But
what do they talk about?
They go Star Wars.
Is Boba Fett gluten free?
What would Borgall taste like if you barbecued it?
Grill them up.
But they came through. One of the guys came through Columbus and came over to see the studio. We hung out for a while, had some beers, and he dropped off some of this. So I had it Wednesday for the first time, and whatever I had before, like what you just said, really threw off the taste. I didn't like it on Wednesday, but I like it today. So that just shows you how important the buds are when you're getting into beers.
The beer buds.
Yeah. But it's pretty good. Not blowing me out of the park, but it's good.
Yeah, because my buds are off, I can't give it like a fair rating. So it's gonna be kind of difficult. Because I'm not tasting a lot of the passion fruit, and I think that's what's being clouded with my buds right now.
What's the go-to? Like, what do you use to cleanse out your taste buds in the middle of beer tastings? We need to get that like on hand.
Peanuts or pretzels or something?
I think it's usually pretzels. Yeah.
Gotta have. Oh, I think we do have a bag of pretzels.
Presidents? Prezes?
All right. The only reason... Look, this isn't blowing me out of the way. This isn't extremely drinkable. It's not particularly refreshing. Glass Armor's pissed because she loved it. She's looking at me like she's going to cut something off. But I am legitimately, and it's my fault, but I'm going to give this a 1 right now.
It's your fault that you don't like it?
Well, I don't know. My buds are all fucked up right now.
Maybe your buds are right and Glass Armor's buds are wrong.
Maybe her buds were fuckerized. Fuckerized.
I'm
You know, after I drink this more and more, I am slowly getting the passion fruit a little more. Maybe I'll just sit on it. Before jumping on a 1.
I think I'm thinking of a 1 as well.
Well, this is a shit week. We should just shut this down.
I've been having straight 3s for like 2 months, so a 1 is welcome. That way I can ensure that my buds aren't fucked up. And like I said, I liked it even less when I first had it on Wednesday. So it was like not that great to begin with, and now it's just average. So,
all right. So after I do some research here, Squad dick.
Scode Pwid.
I'm reading the side of the Deschutes bottle, and it says bottle conditioned for quality. Live yeast is added to the bottle, which allows this beer to age gracefully and stay fresher longer.
Ooh.
Keep upright and stay away from light and heat. So it's like a gremlin. You can't feed it you can't water the beer after midnight.
Water the beer. Just picturing you growing like a hop tree or something.
But I wonder how common that is, that they add live yeast after or like during the bottling process. So it'll, as it says, age gracefully.
Yeah.
I'd like to do some research on that.
Also,
I remember,
sorry, I was going to say
what?
also
Continue
if there's
your goddamn thought. My earbuds are
going
blown
on
away.
mute. I'm going on mute. I'm done.
Oh my God.
I was just wondering if they add live yeast to it, is there like a time limit before you should drink it? Like, should you wait a few weeks? Just curious.
I'd assume not, but
I'm sad that we're giving a day shoot to 1.
it's just not. It's not doing it for me.
Yeah, I agree with mine. Not that I've had yours, but I agree with mine. It's just a good old 1.
Once I get all the way through the first beer, I'm gonna reassess the situation, and I might revamp the gradulatories. So,
okay.
So
I understand.
Recently, I was laughing my ass off at myself and yourself because I jumped on the fanboy commentary for the holiday special.
Oh,
holy
God.
shit! It was like 7 straight minutes of pure bliss. I don't know. Listen, I think I'm funny. I'm also a piece of shit jackass.
I've decided that I'm funny.
I'm calling it right now. But I was listening back because it's at that point where I don't even remember what we said. You know, I can't quote any of it, so it's like brand new again.
Nice.
Wait a couple weeks, brand new.
Wow. Did you watch so on our YouTube channel? I know we have just the regular Star Wars special, and then we also have
the commercials.
The commercial one. We did. So the first time we did it, I actually found the wrong version, and it was recorded onto a VHS live when it aired with all the commercials. There's old Ford commercials, and I don't even know what the fuck else you saw.
Like women's garment.
yeah.
Union.
Like the pantyhose. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there's 2 versions. It ended up being really funny.
Yeah. And I actually would highly recommend the commercial version to people. You would think commercials would be bad, but it adds value. What am I talking? I'm like selling this shit. Adds value. You'll get a lot more if you hit the premium commercial button and blah, blah, blah.
Right now, you can get it for 10% off.
10% off. It's free, but you get an additional 10% off.
It just locks. We'll pay you to watch it. Yes. It just locks you in like that 70s era where it's just so off the wall. It's bad.
There was the cartoon part. So halfway through
the Boba Fett cartoon,
Yaki or whatever the fuck the young Wookiee is. Lumpy. See, I wasn't that far off. You laughed at Yaki, and you're like, haha, that's way off. It's Lumpy.
They also call it Kazook instead of Kashyyyk. So what are we expecting out of this thing?
Kazook. I said that? Kazook.
No, they in the fucking show they said it. They called it Kazook.
Oh my God.
I don't know if like he changed his mind afterwards or if they just read the script and pronounced it weird.
There's no Z in cash.
Hey man.
Kazook.
There's 3 Y's. They probably got fucking confused.
3 Y's makes a Z, right? Who are you? I was laughing my ass off at the cartoon part where Luke's flying a Y-wing and crash lands into this like pudding sea, and this demon beast monster comes up behind him. He shoots him with a jam blaster. It's like he's shooting strawberries at him. Our comments on it was fucking hilarious. I was dying. I had to go back and there was like 3 minutes of just slaughter.
I'm excited to watch it again because I remember also Boba Fett has like that tuning fork spear or something like that.
Exactly. You're just like, this is G-sharp, bitch. And what are you going to do about it now?
Oh, man. The commentary is just so fucking off the wall. I love it.
So if you guys don't know, well, you guys do know. I'm not going to even say it.
Not even going to say
commentary. Listen to us over all the Star Wars stuff, 90s Batman stuff, and we also did the holiday special.
And since you're talking about the holiday special, that is the only one on YouTube that has the actual video with it. Because obviously all the other ones are copyrighted. You have to get the podcast and sync it up while you watch it. But the Star Wars special, Christmas special one, you can just pop on YouTube, watch the whole thing.
Yeah, if you haven't tried it out, I would highly recommend starting with the holiday special because it's extra horrible.
It's awful.
Like we can sit there and shit on episode 3 and all of it, but it's still a decent movie. This was just bad.
In every sense of the word.
There's a cooking scene.
That one terrifies me. That one literally gives me the heebie-jeebies.
The heebie-jeebies.
That dude with the fucking fucking wig on. Whip stuff.
Whip stuff.
Dude, it's not good. All right.
What we got here?
Lore Master here was saying if you could recommend one beer from where you guys live, what would it be? That's a tough one because
Trogs.
I think pretty much.
I would say limit to a brewery. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. Well, I was just saying, unless you come here, you can't get most of the stuff. So it's hard to recommend something.
Anything from Trogs.
Yeah. I've only
Trogs
had like
is
one or
all
two thing, but that's good to hear that they're good.
Especially if you're in town. If you're ever in PA, which is a huge fucking state, you'd be 7 hours away from Trogs and still be in PA.
Mm-hmm.
If you're ever near Trogs, I would stop by the brewery because it is massive, it is clean, it's new.
Nice.
And they always, every time I stop in there, they have like 3 or 4 side project brews that are like of the week. So you can stop in there today, and next week they'll have 3 other ones that they're just kind of testing out. So
that's cool. If I had to say one beer, which is really hard to do, I'd probably say the Daybreak from Wolf's Ridge, just because it's so unique. It's a lager. It's called a cream ale. So it's a light lager with coffee infused into it. And it's just the most refreshing. You wouldn't think that like, I don't know, a Miller Lite style beer with coffee that would make much sense, but when you have it, it just blows you away, and it's really refreshing, really good. As far as a brewery itself goes, I would definitely have to go with Land Grant. They're brewing straight fire every fucking day. It's awesome.
Straight fire. A guy outside with a fucking AT-AT on his shirt. Hey, you want to be on a show?
Podcast?
Hey. Awesome.
This week in toys, I found the new Chewbacca with his goggles and everything.
Can you call him Chewbacca, not Chewbacca?
Well, I was quoting Lando. You know, this one...
How you doing, Chewbacca?
It's not terrible, but they kind of fucked up his eyes. Let's see if it'll focus. Guaranteed it won't.
God. Oh, kind of.
Come on there. Come on, Chewie. Come on.
He's just giving everybody the death stare live on the fucking show.
They kind of fucked his eyes up, but when you put the goggles on, it doesn't matter. But good old Chewbacca.
Good Chewbacca.
I'm going to say it like that every time now.
I want to know how many lewds fucking Lando inhaled before meeting Chewbacca. Chewie's like, what are you on, motherfucker?
No wonder he pulled that maneuver at the Battle of Tanab. He was fucking high on space mushrooms.
He was low on that dirt. So, what else?
What did you just try to say?
About what?
Nothing. I'm over it. We have a lot of random stuff. There's no major news. There is a bunch of potentially fake clickbait bullshit news, which isn't really news. And then
everything's canceled and all the... dude, I went to the comment section.
Yeah.
So on Instagram...
Let's just start with this. Go ahead.
Like, let's just say Star Wars Lore Master posted something about the standalone movies have been put on hold.
Yes.
I went to the comment section. I personally am so excited that my voice has made a difference, and I'm a jackass, and my mom's never kissed me because she said she likes me as a friend, and I shut the fuck up and get back in the basement.
Friend zoned by your mom. That's what level these people are on.
Dude, it's such trash, and I'm happy that even in the comment section he was being trashed on. Like, dude, shut up. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care about you. This is my issue. Disney should not care about us. They shouldn't.
Correct.
They should just make a fucking great movie.
Just like Metallica does. Everything goes back to Metallica.
Make the best movie you can. Don't do fan service stuff, even if I enjoy it. Don't just make fan service stuff, because if you do that, you are just referencing the past and not moving it forward.
Right.
You're not pushing the ship forward. So your pretzel eating, I've never seen a human tit comment section fucking gladiator. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Just stop. You have done nothing. You have done nothing. So stop patting yourself on the back for doing nothing.
Yeah, that was the word. And let's step back for a second if people are confused, if they're not on Twitter or Instagram. Because I have a sneaking suspicion that if you aren't involved in the bullshit storm that is Twitter, you probably would never hear any of this stuff. Your life would be 1,000 times better, and it wouldn't bother you at all. But anyways, what happened was Collider released some news that everything that, well, I shouldn't say everything. All the spin-off movies, the Star Wars story movies, are put on hold so that Disney can focus on 9, first of all, and then the Rian Johnson trilogy.
So to reiterate, put on hold and not canceled.
And not canceled. But in this world of, I saw this episode title, so obviously I know what the entire article says, and I'm just going to retweet it and talk about this, talk about that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's just weird. You know, people kind of took it and ran with it. The weird thing is, it's from one of these sites that has an inside source from Lucasfilm. And I understand they've put news out in the past and it's come true, or leaks or whatever. But how much credit are we going to give this? Hey, I heard from one person that may have worked on this one movie over in Los Angeles, and they heard that, Disney's putting everything on hold. Who knows?
They had potential. We said it last episode. They had potential 9 films in production.
And then a few days later, everything's canceled.
I don't care if you're Disney or not, you are stretching yourself extremely thin to produce 9 films.
But 9 films over 4 or 5 years.
I don't give a fuck. You're still paying people to make them.
Marvel does 3 a year. What are you talking about?
Which is also under Disney.
Yeah,
you're stretching
exactly.
yourself way too thin. You're doing 100 things at once. Just make sure you do the 10 things that are coming out this year. Do them well, and then focus on fucking next year.
Yeah.
So I think they're just refocusing on what's happening.
I think so.
Now, I think they were playing into the hype too much. Hey, guess what? Boba Fett's coming out in 12 years. No one cares.
I care.
I care as well. But I'm saying you could release that same news 2 years from now, and it'd still be 2 or 3 years out. So come on.
That's very true. Yeah, the weird thing is that not everything's about to come out next year. So it's not like they came out and said episode 9 is getting pushed back 2 years. Because that would be some real news. But the movies that have been thought of, haven't even started production, and won't come out until 2022 are getting put on hold. Okay. I don't know what we expected. The problem is that, like I said, in this world of titles, article titles, and clickbait stuff, just like this podcast is titled clickbait every episode, people are taking credit for boycotting Solo as if that resulted in this news from Disney to put everything on hold. It's well, Last Jedi was so bad, we're going to start this entire revolution and take down Disney, resist Disney. It's a revolution.
What's the end game there?
What are you doing?
If they took down Disney, there would be no Star Wars. This is exactly what I wanted. I love Star Wars.
And Lucas isn't going to touch that shit again after you guys fucking terrorized him.
Terrorized.
Literally. So yeah, they're taking credit. Hey, I did this. We did this. We we started a revolution against our favorite thing, and we stopped them from making new stuff that we would love.
My voice was heard.
Good job. Good job. I approve of this message. So to make things worse, the next day, ABC put out a article or release or something that said basically that's not true. That stuff is like attention is being moved to episode 9, obviously, because it's the next one that's going to come out. But nothing's been canceled. Nothing really major like that is happening at all. So now I don't know what to think.
We've already said it. Not like you. Nothing's been canceled. No, none of the news articles has the word canceled. It's all put on hold.
I'm just gonna look it up real quick.
We got Zachary Gooden here in the live chat. He said, "Here you go, Star Wars Origins, Jolie Bindo."
That's one that I would like to see.
Yeah, that's been put on hold. No one wants to see it. 30 years later, we can't have it because the fucking Twitter warrior,
the Twitter gladiator, the comment section gladiator. I love that. That needs to be a character. Let's do. Yeah, so it says like reports seem to be premature and speculative. Lucasfilm characterized that report from Collider as inaccurate, and it says Lucasfilm told ABC News there are still multiple films currently in development that have not even been announced yet. Those projects are moving forward separate from Rian Johnson's trilogy and the Game of Thrones guys' trilogy. So pretty much everything that happened, all that nonsense, is just, it's not happening. So either ABC is getting wrong shit, or the original people from Collider News are getting wrong shit. I don't know what to believe. What are we supposed to do? I have to click on it. I need podcast topics. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
We got to talk about something until December 2019. So I don't know.
All right.
What do you think?
I don't want to even give them any more attention because it's all crap. We're going to get more Star Wars films, and that's what it is. I don't care if you like it or not.
But it does raise an interesting point. Like, what do you think as far as a fan? Don't worry about the box office or anything, but the idea that they would move the origin stories and the Star Wars story movies aside to give focus to Rian Johnson's new trilogy, which is going to be a totally brand new characters we've never seen, places we've never seen, etc. Like, would you rather them do the Boba Fett standalone movie?
No.
Or would you rather them do the brand new stuff?
Brand new trilogy.
I agree, which makes it weird because like I don't want them to cancel Boba Fett, but I do also want them to make sure that the new shit is going to be quality and good, which I think they will. But it just opens up the discussions like, oh yeah, discussion. Is if you think the Star Wars a solo, Jesus Christ.
Today on Rogue Squadron Podcast,
Stop making me laugh.
Cody learns how to talk.
Stop making me laugh because I can't talk. I'm looking at you. I'm not gonna look at you.
Commander Cody makes his first point.
My first sentence ever. Do you think I'm done? Fuck it.
I was listening. I quit. I'm done. Can't handle it.
I was so distracted with everything. I don't even know what my original sentence was.
The Twitter Guardians won. They got it. They got it.
Twitter Guardians. I have fallen to the comment gladiator. I have nothing else to live for.
Nothing else matters.
So yeah, apparently nothing's canceled, so we're good to go.
No, I'm happy. And I do think, this is... The standalone movies are fan service. Whether you like it or not. Because they're not...
Yeah.
It's just deepening the story on the characters we already know.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with that.
And they can live by themselves. No, I'm fine with it too.
Right.
But to 99% of all Star Wars fans, Star Wars is different because it's a saga, it's a trilogy, it's a continuing story.
Right.
So these one-offs, I never expected it to beat episode 7 or 8.
Right.
No, a lot of people may not even like Han Solo. So why am I going to go see Han Solo?
Right. But I think there's still merit in doing stuff like that. Just not expecting it to beat episode 7, obviously. But I'm also sick of the box office numbers too. Like, is the movie good? Because Solo was fucking awesome.
To the same degree, though, because if the younger generation may not be interested in Han Solo because they grew up with the prequels or they grew up with the sequels, which Han Solo isn't really a part of.
Right.
mean, he died in 7, but that's it.
Right.
That's all you need to know. So Solo wasn't near and dear to probably half of the Star Wars fans out there now.
Well, I also said that I'm not a huge fan of Solo, but watching Solo made me like Han Solo more.
See, that's the thing, because you have an open mind. You go in and you're just like,
True.
yeah, obviously I'm a Star Wars fan, so I'm going to go see a Star Wars movie.
I'm just a shill, aren't I? Look around, all this Star Wars stuff. I was given this by Bob Iger. He sent it over to me. He paid me to say nice things about his movies.
Bob Iger.
In a little fucking movie studio here.
Bob Iger gave me it. It ain't the best stuff.
I remembered what I was going to say earlier, and then as we were talking about that, I forgot it again. So,
so let me tell you a story.
That's the status of
the exact same thing happened to me when I was a kid. I was playing, like riding my bike or something, and I got really excited. I was just like, oh, I have an idea. I'm going to do this. I got so excited. I put all my toys away, put my bike away, and as soon as I was just like, let's do it, I completely forgot of what the fuck my idea was. And I was so mad for like a week straight. I was like, I had the best idea.
That's been happening more and more. It's pissing me off.
I canceled all my plans of riding the bike in circles to do this one thing, and now I can't do it because I fucked around.
Yeah, Pat Hastings says it's so ironic how the fan service is disliked by fans. Oh, okay. I remember. Thank you, Pat. I heard a review about the Solo movie. Oh, it's just all the stuff we already knew about. Like, oh, he meets Chewie. Well, yeah, we already knew he met Chewie. Well, oh, it's Lando's there. Well, yeah, we already know he's friends with Lando. It's like, how is that an argument for anything? That was the point of the movie, is to get more details on all of that shit. It's an origin story. Like, that was the point. How is that a negative aspect of your review?
It's expanding on the Star Wars characters that we already know and building the relationships and making like Han Solo and Lando's relationship in episodes 5 and 6.
Yeah.
It makes it way better because all of it means more. So what do you, yeah.
That's also like saying this movie's bad because it follows the movie before it. Like episode 8 continued the story of Kylo and Rey. It's terrible for that reason. That's how much sense that makes. Stop. It's enough. I'm done. The question about the spin-off movies, before we move on, is do you think Star Wars is able to have all of these spin-off movies and origin stories and kind of keep it like the MCU has been set up, where you have some movies that bring everybody together, and then you have movies more focused on individuals that give them their backstory, or Easter eggs come in, or some characters cross over? Like, is Star Wars capable of doing that? I think they're capable of doing it, but do you think it's a good fit for Star Wars, like stylistically?
No, I don't. Reason being is Marvel Universe was set up using those individual films. Iron Man,
right?
Captain America. We learn about new characters through these new films.
Yeah.
Star Wars is backwards, where you watch the trilogies to find out the new characters, new relationships, new plots.
Right.
So Star Wars is almost backwards in doing this.
Right.
Which is fine. But yeah, I don't like let's just make up a new character. 3 Tubes. The 3 Tubes is we're going to do a 3 Tubes movie. But we're going to do 3 Tubes at the end of this year. And then he'll be in episode 9 next year. 3 Tubes, the film it wouldn't sell because no one knows who it is. No one cares. See, that's the luxury that Marvel has, is all the characters are already known. Captain America, he's been around in comics for...
Yeah, that's true. But I guess the question is Disney willing to sacrifice a bit of box office performance in order to fill an overall long-term story? Because I would say that the answer to that would be yes. That's a good move, that they should do that. But I don't know if they will.
I don't think it's a good move.
I don't know. That was my preference, because I've never been big into comics, and I really fell in love with the MCU. And one of the reasons was all those intertwining stories and characters. And especially when they come together, like Infinity War was amazing that they pulled that off, like purposefully holding off that payoff for 10 years until you get to Infinity War. I thought that was great, and I was hoping that Star Wars would be able to do that. I don't know if they actually will. It's a good question.
Fair assessment.
Fair assessment.
Yeah, I just don't. I think Star Wars is set up a certain way, and it's different because of that. Where it's a timeline, it's a storyline, and you go from. It's like Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is the same way, where you start at point A and you end at point C, and whatever characters you come across is what you're going to learn about.
But that's a little different because that's coming off of source material that already existed. And I think maybe that's why Marvel has more freedom to do that, is that all that stuff already existed. And they may be changing the story of the character slightly here. Like maybe Spider-Man's main villain is going to be Vulture instead of Kingpin or whatever the fuck. But that's all building off of material that's already been written. Star Wars is kind of starting from scratch with every new thing that they do, which kind of makes it harder for them to go off the rails and change stuff up and do an origin story about Bosk and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the focus is different, because obviously the focus of Marvel is the actual superheroes and possibly the villains. I feel like Star Wars is more, I don't know, time and place in a certain galaxy, as opposed to watch Rey, even though she's a main part of it, watch Rey go from here to here, and this is where she struggles. Because it's a wider picture. There's more involved. It's not just Rey. If there was a Rey movie, I don't think I would like it. I don't want to watch an entire just only Rey. It's not
That's
interesting
way.
enough.
Yeah.
It's not interesting enough for me to be balls deep. I would rather watch her grow and learn about the galaxy around her
In the context of the story.
Yeah, in the context of what's moving already.
That makes sense. I feel that.
And they use plot devices like the Empire or the First Order, clear bad guys, but it's not one guy.
Right.
It's oppression on a grand scale that Rey, Finn, Poe, they all live in, and how are they going to overcome this struggle? As opposed to, I'm Captain America, there's that one bad guy that doesn't like me, let's defeat him.
Right. No, that makes sense. I dig it. Mike Mann up here in the chat says, Solo was an awesome movie in my top 3 of Star Wars movies. And I know Mike has been watching them from the original days, back when he saw, I don't know, I think the original, maybe Empire or something. I know he mentioned that to us. So I like hearing that, because I feel a lot of times when people think about like ranking their movies, if they were balls deep in the originals from early on, the originals take up those top 3 spots. And I hate seeing that in rankings. I understand, everyone has their own opinion and everything, but it's cool to see somebody who's like really OT focused say that Solo was up in the top 3. That's good. I wish just more people gave it a chance.
All right, so I think it's Pat Hastings that just said this.
Patrick Hastings.
Oh, sorry. Zachary. I'm wondering how the Amazon Lord of the Rings series is going to be. So this is the first time I've even heard of it.
Oh, for real? I thought we talked about the rumor a year ago.
If we did, I completely forgot about it. But I just looked it up. Lord of the Rings TV series, everything we know so far.
Yeah.
June 13th of this year was an update. Interesting.
So what's the update?
There's a bunch of words here. I
can't read.
They literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full videos embedded in this one.
Yeah, dude, articles are getting out of hand.
Like, instead of saying something, we'll just embed someone else saying it for us.
So I like how my phone has the read-only version. So you open a site and just click read-only, and it just takes away everything, and it makes it look just like one piece of text. Makes it way easier to focus. Without fucking ads.
Google.
Toyota popping up in your face and all that shit. Drives me nuts.
It's not Toyota, it's Samsung.
Sorry, man. Might as well be the same thing.
Samsung. Oh, and GMC. You were close. Holy shit. No, that's interesting. I don't know how well Lord of the Rings would work as a TV series, so that's interesting.
I know that there is... So I don't know firsthand, but I've heard from people that the way that universe is set up is very much like Game of Thrones, where he set up an entire world. It's not just one story. There's this world, there's all these different countries, provinces, different races, languages, all that kind of stuff. So I would be really curious to see something as like an offshoot of the main story of Lord of the Rings with Frodo and everything, because I've never gotten into the books. I've tried a few times. The Hobbit I've read like 14 times because it's very easy to read, but I never read the actual Lord of the Rings books or any of the offshoots at all. So I'm really excited to get into this universe. I just never got into the books. So this will be cool. If it's good, obviously.
I'm boycotting it.
I'm already boycotting it.
I'm
just boycotting Amazon for all that. Come on.
I'm not a big fan of Frodo's feet. I just hate them, so I'm just boycotting the entire everything. So
yeah, you never balls deep in Lord of the Rings, were you?
You always say that. I enjoy the movies. I don't own the super extended versions, so I don't even know if I've ever seen the.
But you're not like loving it like you are with Thrones or something. That's what I mean.
Right.
Like you don't hate them, but I'm not like. As soon as this Amazon thing comes out, I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, I'd definitely rather watch Thrones, but so would you.
Yeah, but there's also 7 seasons of Thrones and only 3 movies of Lord of the Rings. So
catch up.
I'm waiting for Amazon to catch up, then I'm gonna watch it.
I know.
That'll be cool.
All right. So I do have kind of an update on episode 9. I kind of just searched Star Wars and clicked news, and it was one of the first things that popped up. Actually, was released earlier today. Episode 9, release date, cast, director, and theories. A lot of it's obvious stuff. The list of cast, we've got Rey, Finn, Kylo, Poe. Maz is also a part of this. Rose, Chewbacca.
Oh, God. It's going to get boycotted right now.
R2D2.
Rose is part of it?
Yes, Rose is a part of it. They have it broken up into single characters and what's going to happen. It talks about how Rey just met Poe Dameron, so it's time to see what her dynamic with the Flyboy might be.
I think they're going to fall in love. That's prediction after I saw Last Jedi. When they finally met at the end, I think they're going to fall in love.
Her and Poe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It says Finn is now possibly dating Rose and reunited with his bestie Rey. It says also Finn and Rey are expected to stay paired up for episode 9, as opposed to episode 8, where it was constantly, "Hey, I don't know where Rey is. Here's a blinky thing." So there's that. We've got Kylo Ren, the new Supreme Leader of the First Order, could be looking over his shoulder after killing Snoke. Duh. All right, so I'm going into the rumors. So there's 4 of them here. I thought a couple of them were interesting. First one, it states, while The Last Jedi picks up immediately after The Force Awakens, it is possible that there will be a time jump before episode 9.
It has to be.
It was also said that John Boyega told Yahoo he's growing out his hair for the new movie, and that we can, quote, wait for the trailer to see why.
How does he know what's going to be in the trailer?
I'm sure they've read through the script. Well, that's true.
But who knows what they're going to actually put in the trailer? I wonder if they plan that out like right away.
I doubt it. I think that'd have to happen in the editing after.
Well, yeah, but you know how they like to leak certain things and then misdirect us with certain scenes and flipping them around or whatever. I wonder if, like in the Last Jedi trailer, when Rey says, "I'm looking for someone to show me my place," but then right there you see Kylo, but it didn't happen right back to back. I wonder if they based on the plot of the movie and whatever the big reveals or whatever is going to be, if they plan that out like right when they do the script. Huh.
I'm sorry. I missed Mike Mann's comment on the Lord of the Rings series. Quote, just a TV series of people walking. Not people, hobbits. So I would assume there's a time jump. That's the easiest way to show that, is to make the characters look different, look older, growing out the hair. I think it needs to have a time jump. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we talked about that after Last Jedi, that it just has to. If all this stuff, if it's about Rey and Kylo and they're going to like come to, what's the word? If they're like going to finish out their story arcs within a month, that doesn't really work. Like 7 and 8 were literally back to back. So like we need we need that time to see what's going to happen. And especially we have to, one big thing that everyone's been obviously talking about is that we have to have time for like Leia to be out of the story. So the time jump, I think, makes the most sense. Those are my thoughts on the time jump.
I agree. Yeah, they need some time. One, for the Resistance to kind of recoup and get away.
Rebuild.
They're all on the Falcon, so they're going to fly off and hide, I'm assuming, and try to pull support.
Mm-hmm.
I do think people heard Leia's transmission from episode 8.
They just didn't get there in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is completely understandable.
Yeah.
Dude, if it's like calling on, if I was getting shot right now and I called 911, I'd be pissed that 30 seconds later when I'm dead, they didn't show up. They got to jump in their goddamn vehicles. Nothing's instant. What
Take
is she
some time
thinking?
to get across the galaxy. Come on, Leia.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. So I do think the Resistance needs to recuperate. They need to get stronger, have a plan.
Rey's got to read those Jedi texts.
Exactly. So I think that was another part of this.
The next one is Yoda appeared as a Force ghost. Insider reveal that Yoda is returning for episode 9. We'll see. I wouldn't mind if he returned. What I really want to see is Force ghost Luke coming back to Rey after this dies down and actually teaching her.
So I'm kind of confluxed here because I thought that Yoda was showing up as a Force ghost because he had such a connection with Luke. That's why he shows up.
Right.
So I would think that like Rey shouldn't even be able to connect with Yoda because she's never met him.
Yeah, but he knows who she is. He says her name.
I know, and I understand that, but it's just, I don't know. So I feel like if there's a Force ghost in 9, it should obviously be Luke.
I agree. If Yoda didn't show back up, I wouldn't be mad about it. It just kind of depends on how they do it, I guess.
Is it going to be some like Force Ghost Council where Obi-Wan's going to be there too? And
Qui-Gon, that'd be fucking amazing. You want to talk about fan service? That would be the most fan service moment they could ever do.
I'm wondering because
Anakin, Luke, Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon, dude, that's like the powerhouse of the Jedi. That'd be amazing.
So in the Rey what's going to happen plot thing, it also says it is likely she will continue her own version of Jedi training using the combination of the texts, personal practice, and maybe some off-screen mentorship from Leia. So I'm wondering if somehow in episode 9 she asks for help and Yoda
shows
Luke,
up,
Obi-Wan show up, and not almost say, hey, this is what we did and we failed, so don't do this. As opposed to, hey, do everything we did because it obviously worked,
right,
and we're Jedi and we can't, even when we die, we don't die because we're still fucking here and I can zap things with lightning and fuck trees and, midichlorians. So I think it would be awesome for the Jedi to come together and like explain their faults.
Yeah.
Because that is the whole downfall.
Right. Well, Luke did. I think Luke covered that. As far as we need to see in the trilogy itself, I think Luke covered that in 8.
But it's also interesting that Luke has such a different view of being a Jedi, and he's still learning from a Jedi Master. Much to learn, Master Skywalker. It's like,
it makes sense,
no
though.
matter who you are, there's something to learn.
Yeah, this is I've seen kind of a resurgence of people shitting on Luke in 8 and wondering like why he would ditch everyone he loved and hide away by himself to die. I just think there's such a difference between how Jedi were trained in the prequel trilogy, and by the time you get to Luke, he didn't start any training until he was 19. He was trained by ghosts only. Yeah. He had to go through the trauma of his dad being Darth Vader and the Emperor and all that shit in 6, where he almost did turn to the dark side right there and kill his dad. Luckily, he slipped back. And then from there on, he's going by himself to figure all this shit out. Like, he didn't have a council and an archive and all that shit to learn from. He's struggling by himself to figure all this out. So I just feel like he doesn't have like the resources or the support to fall back on when stuff happens, like his nephew is having dreams about murdering everyone. I think it makes total sense what happened to Luke. Anyways.
No, it's a fair assessment because
Yes, it is.
if you're stolen by the Jedi and basically enslaved because you're strong, which is basically what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah.
Oh, your child, he's 2, and he moved something with his mind? Yeah, we're taking
Well,
him.
listen, he's got to come with us.
Listen,
We need more police.
that's we need a larger government. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is very, think about it. That's fucked.
It's kind of creepy.
How are they legitimizing this?
1,000 years of peace. Peace and freedom. Justice. Security.
For our new empire. What was I gonna say? So I'm interested to see
General
Rey's version-
Grievous.
General Grievous on Battlefront 2 was my final thought.
Yes.
I'm excited to see Rey's version of Jedi.
Yeah.
And I'm still thinking the title Last Jedi. Luke was the Last Jedi. And
Yeah.
while Rey, as far as
how the Jedi were.
culture, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
It still fits. It's kind of annoying, but it still fits.
it's not annoying at all. I think it's from a certain point of view.
True.
You could say Rey's Last Jedi. Is she? I don't know.
You know what?
You could have said
I'm just going to start talk about it. I'm just going to start commenting from a certain point of view on everything. Yep. The death, toxic madness of comment sections. If anybody disagrees with me, I'm just going to say from a certain point of view. That's it. That's my only rebuttal from now
from
on.
a certain point of view.
And that's all that you need to say. And that's the core of Star Wars. So it doesn't matter.
All of Star Wars is trash. Well, from a certain point of view. If you're trash, yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Everything you're watching is trash.
All right, moving on to the next one. What do we got?
So this came out, I think, right after we did last week's episode. Rumor about Billy D. Williams returning for Lando in episode 9.
This one kind of pisses me off.
We've talked about this. I'm going to repeat myself. And so you don't have to go back and listen to all of our old episodes. You can just hear it now. I think instead of that whole red plum bloom asshole in the casino, that they should have just met with Lando. Quick cameo, could have sent them on their way to meet DJ, and that could have been done. Because
he could have they could have done something where he was, the code breaker.
Yeah.
And he would have just completely denied it. Said, look, I'm out of this game.
Right.
I can't do this anymore. I'm too old. But talk to this guy.
Of course.
He could probably he's a little sketchy, but I do trust him and I've worked with him before.
Right.
Go.
And that's exactly the kind of person that Lando would recommend.
Yep. DJ has the skills to do it, but he's not like a great person.
Especially after seeing Solo. Yeah, that'd be so perfect. And then we wouldn't need him in 9, and then he didn't. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just, why do we need to single-handedly get rid of every single character that they set up in the original trilogy? Han, we'll bring him in, and then we'll kill him off. And then what? Luke? Oh, yeah, he'll come in, and then we'll kill him off. And then who else we got? We'll bring in him and him. Shut up! Shut up! Don't! Why? We don't need it. This is all fan service at this point. We don't need old Lando in episode 9. Move on.
Well, I agree and I disagree.
Kill Maz off. Kill someone that, no one's died yet.
I agree and I disagree.
Kill Finn off.
I don't think that we need the original trilogy characters shoved in our face. However, all of their characters in the OT played a role in the rebellion, and Leia is still leading the new resistance. So the fact that they wouldn't show back up, I think it makes sense that they're there. Do you agree with me? If you say no, then the show is done.
From a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view. There we go.
I
think it'd be cool to see him, as long as it's a very reserved cameo, something, just a minute, a few seconds. He's not joining up and being a new general in the fucking resistance. Those are my thoughts.
It's all fan service, 100%. They could do almost a better thing if they just. There's a better way to do it without having him in there. You don't have to have him in there. I think he was on the very outskirts of the rebellion.
Yeah.
He helped them. I didn't even think he was a part of the rebellion.
Well, he became a general and then he blew up the second Death Star.
They're making everybody generals.
did.
You can fly a ship. Hey, General Asshole, get over here, fly this one.
General Mopar. I agree.
General Mopar. So I I don't think Lando should be a good guy. I don't think he should be a character in the new trilogy. I don't know.
That's okay. I appreciate you having a different opinion than me. Unfortunately, your opinion is wrong. Mine is right. This show is over. You're a terrible fake fan.
And the beer sucked today. So great.
That's true. 1-star beer predicts bad episode. No, I understand what you mean. I don't need him in there, but depending on how they do it, it could be cool. Anyways.
What else we got? Moving on. There's one more. Two more.
Yeah,
so could Obi-Wan Kenobi, as embodied by McGregor, show up in episode 9, according to some jackass. McGregor is going to be secretly shooting scenes for two. Why am I reading this? So according to the Sun sources, which is some guy who said something 3 weeks ago, we don't even know who he is. There could be secret shootings of scenes. Like, who the fuck? So
Ewan McGregor's in Hollywood. Guaranteed he's in episode 9.
They're in the same state as Hollywood. He'll probably be in it.
Yeah, they're both in the Eastern Hemisphere right now. Okay. Western Hemisphere, whatever.
They also talk about how Obi-Wan was talking to Rey in episode 7, where Rey, these are your first steps during her Force vision.
Oh, see, now that would be interesting because Yoda talks in there too. Now we've seen Yoda and he knows who Rey is. So maybe Obi-Wan's next.
What does Yoda say in her Force vision?
I guess he's technically repeating what he says to Luke on Dagobah. Like, it surrounds us, binds us, penetrates us, whatever.
Oh, yeah, right.
Pat is shitting on Rose right now in the comments.
What's that?
Pat is shitting on Rose right now in the comments.
Well, from a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view, you're wrong. So,
that's about it. I'm okay. I'm okay with the Jedi, fan service Jedi stuff, because it makes sense.
The Jedi can do anything, and yeah.
Well, basically from Qui-Gon Jinn on, they learn this new power, and I know Yoda knows it. I know Obi-Wan knows it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously they could easily pass that off to Luke.
And
so
Anakin,
it makes
based
sense.
on the end of episode 6, Anakin too.
See, that's really weird that Anakin would know that.
Well, technically he wouldn't know it, but Lucas just made him come back.
I know, but that's kind of a plot hole.
He's that strong in the Force, he doesn't matter. He is the Force. He's half
when
Force.
When he dies, he's just like, I'll just hang around for a little bit, have a few beers.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yoda, what's up?
Apologize for murdering all of his students and everything. That was the 501st, man. I wasn't there. I didn't have anything to do with it.
Hey, the Empire was running great. Well-oiled machine, right? Would you guys agree?
Until my fucking daughter came around and ruined shit.
What a... And old buddy, old pal. Yeah, I these are less rumors and more just like, hey, I think this could happen.
Yeah. That seems to be, I feel like that's going to be exactly what happens from now until Celebration. Well, I guess the next big thing is that we're going to get the title. Like, they'll reveal the title of episode 9. And then if I remember correctly from episode 8, the very first trailer came out at Celebration. So we won't really know much of anything else until April.
What if it was something ridiculous, like
Jar Jar's Big Adventure?
Oh, okay. No, like the Final Stand or something ridiculous where...
Civil War.
Great.
Galaxy War.
Infinity Wars.
Universe War.
NBA Finals 2019. Yeah, we're so far out from this, and I'm sure over the next year, they'll just be...
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Kirsten Dunst, she was in California. I think she's in a new movie.
Saw somebody with a camera in the studio. Episode 9, guaranteed.
Jacob Weiss is in episode 9. I believe it.
Yeah, the next big new Star Wars thing that we have is Resistance, the new animated show, which is, I think, September, October. So that'll be the next big thing. That'll be dropping cannon bombs and tying stuff in between episode 6 and 7.
Yeah, we've got a lot. There's a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Yeah, I did order at the Force Choke of Jacob Weiss. I did order the first 12 issues of the Darth Vader comic I am super excited for that for obvious reasons.
Lord Vader.
Lord Vader.
Yeah, I added those to my cart as well.
Yeah, they were cheap enough. I think $20. I got both of them. Both sets. So the first one's 1 through 6, second one's 7 through 12.
Yeah.
They each have 6, obviously. But yeah, I'm super excited to read them. Anything new? See, it's weird because I shit on Lando being episode 9, but any more Vader stuff you can give me, I'll fucking soak that shit up.
Vader spinoff movie. Yeah.
But you got to realize, like, episode 1 through 6 is the rise and downfall of Lord Vader. I don't care how it started with Luke. The whole entire plot as a whole is Vader. You go from innocent boy to strongest good person ever to the worst bad person ever to redemption.
Right.
With the help of your son, Luke.
Right. Yeah. And various people along the way. But what?
I'm just saying that's why I like Star Wars. It's not because of Luke and his redemption values on Vader. It's because of Darth fucking Vader.
Yeah. It's never been because of Luke. Not my Luke Skywalker. He's not mine.
How much would you...
You asked me how much I would pay for a Vader spinoff?
No. I'm just wondering, like, how much do the evil villains, how much do the villains
What about the good villains?
Star Wars affect your thoughts or opinion on Star Wars?
What about the good villains and the evil heroes?
The good villains.
What was the question? I was scratching
the
my
good
head.
villains like Qui-Gon.
Yeah. What was the question?
I'm wondering, is it because of the villains that like separate Star Wars, or how's the best to say this? Like, I think Star Wars is Star Wars because of Darth Vader.
I think Star Wars is Star Wars because of the setting, for sure.
I'm wondering, like, I'm a Batman fan. Even though Joker's probably one of my favorite villains, I would watch Batman without the Joker because Batman's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I like him. Would I watch Star Wars without Darth Vader?
You just did twice. 4 times, actually.
Yeah, no, he's still there somewhere.
His mask is there.
Ooh.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, Star Wars is the classic stories and the classic stories and characters in this new fucking badass universe, setting, galaxy, lightsabers, all that kind of stuff.
But what if it ended with Hux and Tarkin? What if it was just an army? Would we give a fuck about Star Wars if it was, hey, evil skull bone heroine eyes runs an army?
Oh, like without that whole mystic aspect of the Jedi and everything?
Vader is unstoppable, but he's still, even as Anakin was unstoppable, could do whatever the fuck he wants.
Right.
But he still fell and became a villain. So I think that overlying arc kind of carries everything else with it in the universe. I think the universe is probably 50% of it. The fact that you can like fly around in spaceships, there is a mystical force, and there's like technology that exists that doesn't exist now. So it's cool. But yeah, if we took Vader out of like the mystical aspect of the villain out,
well, there's
really humanize it as like a Hux or Tarkin, where they're not special, they're just military.
I don't think so, but I also think.
What was my question, and why don't you think so?
Would it have the same impact if we had just grunts and no epic, amazing force power users? I don't know. I feel like in those classic stories of like, if we think back to ancient Greece or whatever, there was always heroes. Like there's normal soldiers and then there's Hercules. Then there's like the gods. So that's always been a part of this kind of like story. No, I don't think it would work without the Jedi and Sith and all that kind of stuff. It's always about that. If you think of Game of Thrones, it's always about like the rich, powerful families. It's always Lannisters and Targaryens. It's not the general fucking grunts that are in the army and everything.
But
the stories always do that.
It's the good guys and the bad guys embodying ideas, emotions. Like just think like I'm pissed off and mad and I want to break something. Well, if you watch Star Wars, who's pissed off, mad, and wants to break something? All the villains. Yeah. All the bad guys. That means it's bad. It's a weird, like, mental thing that we don't even pay attention to. Oh, yeah, Kylo broke the elevator. Clearly because he's a bad guy. Good people don't break elevators. So it's weird. It's like the mystical part of it almost embodies very humanistic emotions, like situations that we can put ourselves into, but it's on a higher level. It's like a God level.
I'm letting this sink in and process.
Because I think people would like to watch something like Star Wars and kind of realize something greater than themselves, like an invader, something that can't happen.
Yeah.
But they can still relate to, and almost like you're almost learning about yourself through watching the downfall of Vader.
Yeah, I think that's the point.
Or the success of Luke.
Right.
I think people can relate with that, even though they're superhuman heroes. And maybe it is the same thing with like Hercules. I'm really fucking strong and I can throw a boat at my enemy. Well, that's fucked, but also you seem to be a good person and doing the right things. I don't know. I'm just talking.
I know. I'm just waiting for you to finish talking. I think you're onto something. I think if we knew more about storytelling, we could verbalize this more. Well, I know what you're saying, like, but it's a very like esoteric thing to describe. It's kind of hard to explain. But
what is esoteric?
Like, actually, I don't even know what that word means.
Hey, Mopar.
I didn't make it up. I know that. I didn't make it up. I know that much. Intended or likely to be understood by only a small number of people with specialized knowledge or interest. Like, it's out there. Like, only a few people actually get it because it's so complicated to explain.
But it's not. It's weird. So even though you're saying it like Star Wars might be a little esoteric.
Like, it is and it isn't.
But it's only esoteric in the sense that only certain people would even think about this thought process and this connection. But it affects everybody who watches it.
Yeah, 100%.
You just might not be conscious about what it's doing.
And like the reasonings behind it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That is exactly what I was going for. Like it's so human that everybody that watches it gets it right away. But trying to break it down and describe it is way more difficult.
Do you think the Marvel films have the same effect as with the Star Wars? Because we're talking about very simplistic ideas where it's just hero, right. Bad guy, good guy, hero versus villain. Do you think they? I don't know why. I personally don't think that the Marvel universe has the same effect because they were all, well, not all of them, but most of them were born special in a way.
So were fucking Jedi.
Luke wasn't.
He was. He just didn't know it until
wasn't. Rey wasn't.
Leia was not, correct.
Leia, Luke, Rey.
They just didn't know about it right away.
Revan.
The other Jedi knew about it right away because they got kidnapped.
Bane. See, I think this is weird because
Bane knew.
I'm thinking about like Jedi on a scale where even though the Jedi that we know, like the Jedi Council, we'll talk about Mace, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, all these people were from infancy, let's just talk about it, special.
Yeah.
But that's the minimum. I mean, that's the minority.
Right.
Because all the stories that we go off of, we talk about like even special, like Bane. He started as a drunken miner on a never heard of planet. And that's the story that we love. Luke started as a nobody. Rey is a nobody. So I'm wondering if even though the majority,
but they were waiting, they were just waiting for something to pop up and turn them a different direction. Like, I feel like they could feel like something was different. Something's out of place. Like, this is farming moisture on Tatooine is bullshit. Something bigger has to happen. It just took until the droids showed up for Luke to tell his uncle. Well, I guess he didn't tell his uncle to fuck off. His uncle got killed. So, but to break him out of that normal fucking mode of farm moisture, go to bed, farm moisture, get power converters, go to bed. If that makes sense. I think the same thing happened with Bane. He was like ridiculously strong, like stronger than he should have been. And he could sense that kind of shit happening. He just didn't know exactly what it was until somebody explained it to him. Just like Star Wars, we connect to the stories. They make sense to us. But it doesn't have a deeper meaning until somebody comes along and explains why it connects and why it's human and why it, even though it's set in a random universe that doesn't exist, it mimics stuff that happens with humans on Earth.
Mm-hmm. On a very basic level, I think there is something to that. Come from nothing, start from the bottom. Now we're here.
Yeah.
Because I think that's, what's weird is they use that formula a lot for even villains. Like the Joker, if you want to learn about his backstory, he was a nobody. He was poor. His wife was pregnant and all this stupid shit. And he was just in a pickle. And then he figures crazy shit out. And all of a sudden he's making a difference. And that's kind of, it's weird to say it that way because I'm simplifying it, but that's a lot of times from a certain point of view. I'm in this situation. Things need to fucking change.
Right.
Well, putting on makeup and killing people will change shit.
So let's do that.
So Joker it up. Bootstrap Bill. You know him.
From Pirates?
Oh, yeah.
The fish dude from Pirates?
No, that's Bootstrap Bill was Will Turner.
Yeah.
His dad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when we first see him, he's fucking a coral reef stuck to the side of the ship.
I forgot. That's funny.
That whole fucking crew was.
He is a coral reef.
Dude, I love those movies. I haven't seen 4 or 5.
There's a 5th. Oh
There's 5, yeah.
I have seen 3.
Right.
1 through 3.
Yep.
I've seen the third one once because that's the one where they do like the crazy upside down.
Yep. At
And
World's End.
I've seen that once. There was a weird showdown at the end, and they just start like it's like open season trading, and they're just like, "Hey, I choose you for my team, and come over here, and you'll just be bad. You'll just fight us now."
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and they make what's her face the captain of the ship and everything. Yeah.
Mike Mann says, "I think Ray will end up being a somebody."
I am totally okay with it either way.
From a certain point of view, she already is a somebody.
Very true. Because she's kicking ass. And I think we've talked about that. But if she ends up being related to somebody, even distantly, I'm cool with that. If she ends up being a nobody, like Kylo said, and like she assumed, I'm cool with that too. I like both versions.
What if Ray's parents were somebodies?
But nobody knew that they were.
Exactly. And they actually went through some bad times, became drunks, and they just, good people can become bad. So
yeah.
What if they were fucking lost Jedi that got out of Luke's thing and just were hiding on Jakku because it's junkyard, easy to hide.
Junkyard.
I mean, there's so many opportunities. There's so many.
You could also do the Harry Potter thing. Like her parents were extremely strong Jedi or whatever. Something bad happened and they dropped her off young enough. I mean, we do see that scene where she's young and somebody's leaving her with Unkar Plutt, whether that was her parents that were on Jakku the whole time and then they just split or somebody dropped her off to keep her safe. But you could do the whole Harry Potter thing.
See, that's also very weird.
Like somebody kills her parents and then she's just fostered by Unkar Plutt, or her parents are like worried about her or something like that.
But I never thought that Unkar Plutt owned Rey.
Well, I didn't say that like he owned her. He may.
I know,
have, but I don't know.
Didn't Kylo say your
sold
you off for
Actually,
drinking?
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. So if he owns her, why is he giving her portions at all?
Right.
Like just give her one portion a day and that's it.
So it has to be a lie. She wasn't a slave. She had her own place, and I guess so did Anakin and Shmeebutt.
I haven't heard that for a while.
I don't know.
Man.
There's so many things that we could talk about. We could do a whole podcast, like start a whole podcast and talk about Star Wars theories.
That's a good one. We should do that.
You call it like
we should say it like it's true, even though it's not.
Yeah. We could do like beer reviews every episode.
Hey, I like this idea. What are we going to call it?
Well, this podcast is full of them.
And then Mike Mann just brought up too, she could be born from the Force randomly like Anakin was.
I hope they don't do that, actually.
I don't hate it, but I don't think that's what happened because the whole thing about the Force Awakens and like that's the weird thing is like what we've seen from the prequels and everything is that like you're born either force sensitive or not, and then you can train and get stronger, but you either are or you're not when you're born. Now we see with Rey for the first time ever, she has some skills, but the force just kind of showed up in her out of nowhere, and she has to deal with it.
But she also really says it's always been there. She just kind of all of a sudden recognized it.
That might be true too.
Just like Bane, he didn't know what the fuck it was.
There we go. Forget what I said. I'm wrong.
Yeah, because I think Bane was special and he knew it. He just didn't know what to call it. He didn't know how to funnel the force.
What I really want to know is how many midichlorians Rey has. That's about the important
13,
question.
1,400 at least.
What did Obi-Wan say that Anakin had over 10,000?
10,000?
Or over 20,000? Higher even than Master Yoda.
And
readings are off the charts.
Anakin midichlorian count.
Yeah, I want to know how much midichlorians Rey had.
27,000. So, fuck around. Sorry, I had the little shadow demon pop up and quickly.
That right there is a good reason to watch the show, because if you're listening, you would have no idea that Mopar's cat ran across his table and knocked over the beer. That's funny as fuck. So what's the midichlorian count?
27,000.
27,000. All right, well, Ray's got to have like 30,000. I did post up, since there hasn't been any major news, I did post up on Instagram if anybody wanted to ask us specific topics or questions. So we can hit on those really quick and then wrap things up.
Do it.
Unless you want to talk about midichlorians and why it's a great explanation for the Force.
I'm okay with it, man. I am okay with it.
I like it. Boom.
I think it's going to be a lost. So I will get into it a little bit. I think it's a lost
cause.
Art, lost science, almost lost technology, and it might have even been flawed. Like they just kind of made a correlation that, hey, we just count these little beings using your blood or whatever, and that's how strong you are. That tells everything. It might not even be the direct cause of force strength or your connection to the force. It was just kind of, I'm trying to put it in a certain way that
I don't know what way you're
like it's a correlation, but not the direct cause. Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't hate it. I just think it's a scientific explanation for it.
Right. I'm trying to think of it's a measuring device for it, but it's not your actual.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's almost like, all right, global warming, whatever you think about it. People are making correlation. Hey, there's more cars, and there's now where the Earth is heating up.
Right.
But it's like, yeah, there's more cars because there's more people. There's more people, so there's more warmth, and now there's But at the same time, it could just be getting fucking warmer. I don't know.
It.
I'm not a fucking cytologist.
There's more cars, and you're stronger with the Force.
Exactly. So how many? You got a BMW? You're weak as fuck, bro.
No, I like it. And I think from a storytelling standpoint, too, it also makes that stark contrast between the prequel era and the original trilogy era, where in the prequel trilogy, there's thousands of Jedi everywhere. The Jedi have an archive. They have things like documented and everything's laid out. They know exactly who has midichlorians and it's structured. Yeah. And in the OT, Luke's the only one, and it's very mysterious, and no one knows what the fuck's happening. So I think just the fact alone that midichlorians help make that contrast is important.
I think it's cool. I hope they don't bring it up because I think it's a lost.
Yeah, no one should know about it anymore. Yeah, no one should know about it anymore at all.
It's almost like a lost language.
Yeah,
like they have a certain word for something that
like Latin.
I don't know what the fuck you just said.
Nope.
Aladdin.
What? Pinocchio.
They're remaking that.
Will Smith is the genie.
That makes me happy and sad all at the same time.
I'm cool with it.
That Robin Williams can't be.
Well, yeah. But I think Will Smith's a good choice.
I heard some Robin Williams stand up on XM radio today on the drive back from New York.
Good stuff.
Funny.
Yeah. I haven't seen any of his stand up in a long time. I agree with you. Okay. All right. I'm going to hit these questions.
All right, let's do it.
So Griffin asks or mentions prequel content. Do you guys think it's been lacking representation? It's a rich area of storytelling, no matter your stance on the movies. But he knows that we don't discriminate on the trilogies anyway. So what do we think about prequel content? I think it's been gradually coming back, which is nice. Because when 7 and then even when Rogue One came out, we kind of said prequel content's not being mentioned. It's not really coming up. That was a little premature because the new canon was still getting going. I think now, I mean, with Maul popping up in Solo, like, shit, we have stuff everywhere.
I think it has been lacking, but for good reason. For, let's call it a fucking decade, it was nothing but prequel content. Movies, games, cartoons, everything. Books. We had clone. We had an entire clone series. We had 2 Clone Wars cartoons. Yeah. We had 3 films. We had 5, 6 games. I mean, I think it has been lacking, but come on, they're trying to create a new era, new timeline. Just keep moving on.
I like
outside of in Battlefront 2.
Yeah,
they should be on fucking Battlefront 2.
Yeah,
because that's just an overall Star Wars game, not an era game.
But I like that though. I don't think we've ever mentioned that fact. Is that like from 1999 until the Disney buyout, it was all prequel stuff, and now they switched back and made it all OT stuff. I think when you put it in that frame of reference, it is balanced. So, from a certain point of view, bitch,
you were unbalanced.
Dude, I've been watching. I usually just have Star Wars movies playing silently while I'm working on the extra screen, and watching Last Jedi, even without the dialogue, is quite an experience. It's so visually cool, and Snoke is my man, dude. I'm excited for him.
He's dead. You should be excited for him.
I'm excited to learn more about him is what I meant to say. God damn it.
I wonder if they're going to do a side comic with Snoke. Have they
I
already?
Hope so. I don't think so, but they need a full comic series or they need a trilogy or something. I'm very very intrigued about what his backstory is. Nick talks about what would you like to see in the future of Star Wars gaming and thoughts on that Fallen Order game.
More.
Main thing that I want to see is...
I thought you were legitimately moving on. More.
Next from Biff Sticks. I legitimately want a KOTOR style RPG, and it doesn't have to be Old Republic, but I want the format where the story is driven by your choices, and it's very RPG heavy. It's very character based and party building heavy. So that's really what I want to see. And in general, I just want to see more games.
The customization. I want to be able to... That's the glorious thing about Star Wars is look at all the fucking aliens. Look at all the different ship technologies. You could be a bounty hunter. You could be a fucking water farmer. You could be a Jedi, a Sith. You could be so many fucking things. Let me pick who I want to be and let me play out a storyline, a scenario of the character that
Whoa, what the fuck just happened?
Jesus. Place is haunted.
Jesus has entered.
I saw the light, guys.
I was going to say.
I think I'm dying right now. This is crazy. Woo.
Yeah, customization's huge, man. Even on Battlefront, like the amount of customization that we've gotten is a slap in the face for a game that's almost a year old now.
Trash. I enjoy the game. It pisses you off, but
I was pissed today.
What the fuck?
It was lagging like a motherfucker today, dude. I was so pissed.
Guys, we've had I'm calling it one Star Wars game. Fuck Battlefront 1. It's the same fucking game, just worse.
And this one's pretty bad. So.
Dude, 2015 Battlefront? You missed out on a lot.
Yeah. I think I was saying this earlier to Kerner and he didn't believe me. I might be on a break until the Clone Wars shit comes out because I've had just about enough of it.
I enjoy the game, and Pat and I have been balling. It was fun. We were playing Extraction. It was super fun. And then we were actually doing full 4-on-4 heroes versus villains. And it was getting fucking dirty. It was fun. It was fun.
I don't know what was going on today, but the game did not. The Force was not with me. I was pissed.
Midichlorian count. You pissed a while out of midichlorians away this weekend.
I drank too much. All midichlorians are gone. They have to recover.
I got to find them.
Yeah, regardless of what kind of game it is, I just want more variety. I don't think it's a lot to ask with the amount of other content that we're getting to have one Star Wars game a year from different developers, different studios. Yeah, let's do a shooter here. Let's do
EA.
an RPG from Bethesda. Let's do an action adventure game like Force Unleashed. Like, there's no reason that we can't have all that.
Ridiculous. Dude, think about like Batman in the 90s. Every fucking movie that came out, there was like 2 video games made. We've gotten
all the James Bond movies,
4 Star Wars films, and we've got 1.5 games to speak of.
I think also, but I don't know about that point because I think that era of games based on movies is kind of over with. I think it is. When's the last time you saw a movie-based game?
Every Jurassic Park video game I've ever played.
But is it about the movie itself, or is it just something else in that universe? Is what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't play video games. Lord of the Rings.
What?
I just think, all right, I'm going to give you the gist of it. Give me a goddamn Starfighter game and only Starfighter. Make it objective based. I'll just pick Dark Side. So I'm the First Order. All right. Well, you start as this fucking infantry guy. You can choose infantry or pilot. All right, I'm going to be a pilot. All right. Well, the first one is go over here and check out this fucking cargo. And you do it in space, and then you get attacked by the rebellion or the resistance. And you're like, oh, shit, I got to figure this out. You got to get through that level. And then you move on through all this. Well, they attacked us, so we got to react to that. So let's go attack one of these Corellian goddamn shits. It's not that fucking hard. Do an entire game like that.
How about an RPG Starfighter game where you actually upgrade your pilot's abilities and upgrade your ship and buy upgrades? I just said upgrade a lot. Buy upgrades and special modifications and everything for your ship. Like you pick a pilot type, like Sentinel, Consular, and Guardian. You pick a type of pilot.
You could do like nimble, where all of your turns are crazy, or you could do an attack or defense.
And you pick like 6 different ships. You pick one, then you gradually like update it and modify it as you go through the game.
But maybe you could do a fucking Need for Speed Star Wars, where you can have.
Bring back the pod racing game.
Let's do like a pirate organization in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, Crimson Dawn.
And you start off with 20,000 Republic credits, and you have choice of a goddamn Naboo starfighter, this starfighter. Which one do you want to start running raids on with? Well, the Naboo is very nimble, but it doesn't have that much firepower. Or you could do this tank thing, but
can barely move. Slow. But yeah.
So okay, I'll choose this one and slowly update it. But as you go through, more technology comes out, newer ships. I'll sell my tank and get this new nimble crazy fuck. Or maybe I even have like a hangar that I can house all of them in. And I start running raids and I get money. Oh, I'm buying the Naboo starfighter. I'm actually going to use that one for this raid now.
Yeah,
because
there
it
you
makes
go.
Sense.
Man, dude, I'm liking this idea. I think we should need to get hired by a game studio.
I'm not available. I hate Star Wars. Yeah,
you're right. Damn it. That's a crazy idea, though. I never thought about that, and I would really like that. Last one.
All right.
As I dream about like Forza in space. From Ovo 97, a topic that needs to be touched is why it's important for the next trilogy to stay within what Star Wars has been about. We talked a little bit about this. Jedi versus Sith. And if you're going to expand away from Sith, at least establish the Knights of Ren as a primary dark side force instead of instead of just saying you want to get rid of it all because then the dark side just has no identity, and that's Star Wars, and I did this whole thing in one sentence. I don't quite know what you're saying. Let's focus on the next trilogy should focus on what Star Wars has always been about, Jedi versus Sith.
All right. So to that, I would say it started off maybe a little bit about Jedi versus Sith, but Jedi versus Sith was a title. It's about good guys versus bad guys. And Jedi just played the good guys. Sith played the bad guys.
Well,
I think
Sith
we're now getting into sequel trilogy where it doesn't necessarily have to be a fucking mystical wizard on the bad side.
Right.
It could be a maniacal fucking Hux.
Right.
It really could. It doesn't have to be that. It's just we discussed it a little earlier. It's good guys versus bad guys. It's very clear, and who they are is what Star Wars has always put in front of us.
Yeah. Well,
innocent idiot, blue-eyed blonde. Oh, he's fucking good. Tall midnight darkness over here.
Midnight darkness. I also don't think it's always been about Jedi and Sith. The word Sith wasn't even in the original trilogy. It was about Empire and Rebellion, and you found out by the end that this old fucking deformed guy was pulling the strings.
Wait! Name that show. Wait!
Oh, Portlandia.
I watched that episode not too long ago.
So fucking funny. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know if the sticking with the Jedi versus the Sith thing is the best way to go. I think a lot of what we've seen, the difference between the prequels and the originals, like we talked about before, like the Jedi as an order is dying away. The Sith as an order is gone altogether. So I don't know if the Jedi versus the Sith is the right way to think about what we're pushing into. Now, if you're talking about...
With that said, I think I enjoy this because the waters are getting more muddied.
Yeah.
It's not quite as clear.
Right.
Who's good and bad.
Right.
And we're finally getting to the climax of certain point of view.
Yeah.
We saw Rogue One. They were the good guys were murdering innocent people.
Right.
Like you saw Cassian just shoot that guy.
Right. A friendly too. One of his partners.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's finally getting to the point. I've said this goddamn phrase so many times.
Say it one more time.
Nitty gritty. We're finally getting into realistic situations that good guys and bad guys are put into. So I think these nitty gritty situations are what's popular nowadays. Even like in Game of Thrones, while it's a whole realm of crazy shit, dragons and stuff on a ground level, these humans were raised a certain way and have to make decisions that might hurt other people, but you have to do what you have to do. Like Cersei, we all think she's the biggest bitch ever, but that's all she knows. And you finally see part of her, like you start understanding her point of view.
Right.
Like all of my kids are dead and I was a bitch and I did everything and clawed and scraped to keep me in power and keep them alive.
Right.
And it still didn't fucking work.
Right.
So I think there's a lot to that in popular storytelling nowadays that I think Star Wars could really benefit from.
Yeah.
Rogue One was great.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
I agree. I think pushing forward as far as timeline goes, that Jedi and Sith should definitely not be the focus. Sequel trilogy and post-sequel trilogy. Now, when you say for the next trilogy, if you're talking about Ryan's thing, there's definitely potential for that to be set before the setting of the prequel trilogy. So in that case, definitely Jedi versus Sith, depending on where they go with it. Now, we don't know if that's even going to be Jedi versus Sith or Force users at all. It could be all Rogue One style or Solo style, where it's focused on smugglers or soldiers or whatever. We have no clue what that's going to be.
Pirates.
But I'm basing all of this around when you say get back to the Jedi versus Sith thing. I think it's based on timeline. If we're talking post Return of the Jedi, that stuff is fading away from the galaxy. It's gone. I don't want to see that come back up necessarily. Before prequels, fair game. We'll see. Because we've been, if you listen, you heard us say a million times that we're waiting for some Old Republic stuff to get canonized and come back in. So the fucking door is wide open if it's set before episode 1. That's all I have to say about that.
Not a smart man, but I know what Star Wars is.
Let's go remake The Last Jedi. I think I can do that.
Remake The Last Jedi. I want to write episode 9. First thing that happens, Finn and Rey, they die.
Good. And Rose dies too.
With Finn and Leia.
And Leia dies too.
So all that's left is it's Ghost Yoda and Ghost Luke against Kylo. Perfect.
And Kylo can't touch them at all, so good guys win. There we go.
Good guys win. Just force. Well, how did Luke or Yoda learn Force Lightning as a
Very
Force
true.
Ghost?
That wasn't Force Lightning. That was fucking redirect the cloud to strike the tree.
From a certain point of view, that was goddamn Force Lightning. He just didn't create the lightning. He manipulated it. It's kind of like Magneto. He doesn't create metal, but basically he can pull the iron out of your goddamn tits.
Who's getting iron breast implants? All right.
The best of them. The breast of them. I've had enough too. I wouldn't be listening at this point either.
I actually stopped it because I'm going to stop at the breast of them. It's great. Oh, friends. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Let me know if you like the new look of the live feed and everything.
Everybody already said they do.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Well, Deadpoolio said he did.
I may have to flip our cameras actually. Because usually what I'm doing is looking this way. And you're on the other side. So it kind of looks strange.
We got to talk to each other.
Yeah, I'm just going to flip-flop the panels, I think.
I did notice your live feed, your video.